Good evening, everyone. This is the September 11, 2019 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. This meeting is being broadcast live and is also being recorded for further viewing at the town website, which is auburnguide.com. Before I start tonight's hearing, I'm required to ask if anyone in the audience is making a recording of this meeting. Okay. With the shaking of heads. The first item on tonight's agenda is a 7 p.m. public hearing, Green Hill Engineering and notice of intent for a septic repair at 20 Tinker Hill Road in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, vote. And I understand, Ms. Conroy, that we received yet another request to continue the public hearing for this matter. Is that
Yes,
right?
we did.
Okay. Did they say when they wanted to be continued to?
I suggested the next meeting because they said that the Board of Health will be hopefully done on the 23rd. So,
That's what I think I can do, 23rd as well.
so
Do we have any other items on our agenda for September 25th?
not yet, no.
Okay.
Okay.
So is there a motion?
Make a motion that we continue the application of Green Hill Engineering notice of intent for septic system to the 28th of,
How about the 25th?
I'm sorry, to September 25th at 7. Thank you.
All right. Is there a second? All right. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. All right. And since we handled that matter in about 45 seconds, let's take up some other items in our agenda. So I'm going to skip down a bit. So with respect to 498 Rochdale Street, the ongoing matter with Mr. Goodman and Ms. Manfry, I sent another email to Denise Child at DEP requesting a status or an update, and she did not respond. Shocking, isn't it? So I'm
It is.
going to send her an email tomorrow, which will, and I will copy my previous email to her, and then inquire about what's going on. So I
Wow.
just thought I'd let everyone know about that. I know, I'm shocked. You probably have seen correspondence received from Guardia Consulting. We were CC'd. It was a letter to Ram Construction, who apparently is doing the contracting work for the FW1 building at 33 Sword Street. And I would just note by reference that we were copied on the letter was not directed to us. And I will leave it at that. We'll take a look at the meeting minutes for the last meeting on August 28th. So I do have some changes.
You do?
I do.
Already, I'm all set for them.
Okay. So under 7 p.m. public hearing, well, actually, it's the paragraph that starts Scott Wren.
Yeah?
So when you prepared these, the very last paragraph under that section, it says Attorney Wren had previously requested that the special condition, you see that?
Yeah?
I think it's more appropriate for that section, that paragraph, to go right after Scott Wren was present to request 2 certificates of compliance dating back to 1999.
Okay.
I just think it makes more sense.
All right.
Just that last one again.
And that,
And then I wanted to change the tense, work for 6 Hilltop Road, Hilltop Farm Road. It said, the next sentence begins, the commission waived the requirement of the site plan as they had visited.
oh, yeah, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
With respect to the July 10th, 2019 meeting minutes, you indicated that myself and Michelle had abstained and that Allison was absent. It's more appropriate to say that Allison abstained, just that she abstained from voting on the meeting minutes.
All right.
And that would also be my change for the meeting minutes for August 14th.
Okay.
And then my final change is on the second page, on the back page, under 33 Sword Street.
Yeah?
It was after the first sentence, a letter of correspondence.
Yeah?
You put in there, the commission deemed the issue as resolved. I think we should just take that sentence out,
Okay.
because it remains to be seen whether it really is resolved.
Okay.
And those were all the changes I had.
All right. probably no one really got a chance to even read them. I just sent them at the end of the day today.
Okay.
Make a motion that we accept the meeting minutes from August 28th as edited.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Okay.
We still have 5 minutes. Sheila, under other business, you have an extension request for 65
Yes.
Chestnut Ave.
Yeah. That's not it. He sent me a little email stating that the work was not able to get started and he did not think he'd be completed by next.
Do you have
I
it?
don't have anything here regarding that, I think. I think it expires in April of next year.
Okay.
But he just thought he mentioned it to me, I said, you know, why don't you do it now? And then you won't forget about it, since he was remembering then.
Okay, but did he send a request in?
He did. It's an email form,
Okay, you don't have it.
you know.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we just, since his order condition doesn't expire until next April, we'll take it up at the next meeting.
Next meeting, okay.
All right.
Alrighty, that's great.
And you also provided us with information concerning the MACC Fall Conference.
Yes.
I mean, I think they run excellent programs.
Yeah.
And I think maybe for Tony and Dave, this would be a good opportunity for them to, if they have the time, to just dig into this.
It was some of the sessions that I already took at Belmont,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
So when, do you know what the deadline is?
It should be on his.
Well, in any event,
See you.
if any of you are interested in going to this, try to make up your mind fairly soon so we can make arrangements to have you.
They don't really require a purchase order to get in there, but I kind of like to have it and send it to them to show that yes, they're gonna get paid.
Sure, of course.
What days prior to Bonnet?
That's for cancellation.
What is it called?
That's for cancellation.
I'll check out the schedule.
Just says send it as soon as possible.
Put on sign.
Get an idea how many's coming.
Saturday, October 19th, 2019.
And Sheila, just to
So
confirm, your last meeting with us is going to be September 25th, is that correct?
That's correct.
What?
Yeah, she's leaving us. She thought she could sneak
You're
up the
not
back door.
retiring?
No, you can't leave.
Of course you can.
I'm so psyched for you, but we're really gonna miss you so much.
Like a 3-month notice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So good for you, cheers.
I did give the office a 2 months
What
notice.
do you, like, we have to throw you like a humongous party. What
That would be nice.
Yeah,
I like parties.
yeah, I'll do
All
that.
right.
I'm good at party throwing.
Yeah,
Talk about
I know
that.
you are.
Yeah.
All right, the next item on today's agenda is a 7:10 public hearing. Christopher Broderick, a request for determination for the removal of a dead tree in the wetland area at 4 Pioneer Lane. Is there a motion open?
I'll move to approve it.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote? Mr. Bronner, come on up.
Four?
So,
He's
so-
6. Did I put 4 on there? I'm sorry. You're 6, right? 6?
4 Pioneer Lane.
Oh, 4. All right, I'm getting confused.
So, so,
No, you're right.
Mr. Brack, when this came in, I immediately thought of the tree in the middle of your pond.
Yeah, I confess I'm not surprised by that.
And I'm assuming that that is the tree you need to cut
Yeah.
down?
It's the one, you know, as you well know, a couple of years ago, there were some modifications made to the backyard prior to when we owned the property. It caused a lot of flooding in the backyard, which we've since rectified, working with the neighbors and some of the work that Richard had done prior to when we moved in. But a lot of the vegetation in there did suffer damage from the flooding. As you probably aren't surprised by, one of the maples is, you know, it was okay last year, but it just never came back this year.
And is it the big tree in the center of the pond?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
it is.
So is it still, how wet is it?
It's muddy, but not standing water at the moment.
Okay. So how do you propose to remove the tree?
We have already been in touch with the tree removal service, so they've come, they took a look at it, they can do the work, but they needed, because it's in the wetland area, we needed to get permission to do that, of course.
And are you going to leave the stump in place, you're going to grind it down?
It can be either, we had planned on leaving it if that's okay, but if you want us to grind it down, that's perfectly fine too. The tree service kind of left that open to us.
Okay.
You want to leave it?
I prefer not to pay to grind it down if we don't have to.
There wouldn't be any problem, I don't believe, would there be? Leaving it?
No. It's in the middle of the wetland, it's completely overgrown anyway, so
Right.
there's really no reason for us to grind it out if we don't have to.
Sure. Okay. Any other questions from the board? We are.
Yeah.
I have pictures of it with me on my phone if that would be helpful, but.
If Mrs. Nelson is not familiar with it, if you.
Yeah, I can show, I can absolutely show you. Yeah, certainly.
It's a lovely tree.
It was a lovely tree.
It was.
Unfortunately, I wish we didn't have to do this.
That's a little made, that's
Start here and just kind of scroll through and zoom, but you can see that the tree is, a lot of the bark is coming off. There's a little bit further back, you can see which one it was. This one is healthy, so that one's okay. But this one is in the back, kind of in that area that was flooded a few years ago. This is kind of a further back view. So you can see it's this one here. Just another one on the side yard there. So you can see that it never bloomed, there's no foliage on the tree at all. The bark is coming off its sheets. Not healthy.
Is this wetland line?
Zoom in and scroll to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
We were out there because of.
Yes.
Yeah.
How long ago?
We were out there probably.
sorry.
She woke up. She all right?
Okay, thank you very much.
Did she see them? Okay. Yeah, pass that around.
I'm gonna try twice.
She'll start singing you songs if you want.
Yeah, surrounded by that brush, no reason to grind it down.
Not really, it's
Yeah.
completely,
gonna be,
it's all overgrown, there's cattails, there's other low vegetation, like,
Yeah.
we're just
There was
cleaning
How
it.
were they gonna cut it down? Exactly.
Come down,
I'm not sure exactly on the scope of how they're gonna do it. You can see, so this is the tree that's here, through the back there.
Right. But are they like drive in there? or-
Yeah, they're gonna take a truck right down, so this is our backyard. So they're
Right into the wetland.
right up against it, and then they'll be able to take it down there.
I don't think it was, I think it was like, that part of it wasn't, it went through different elevations before. What ended up happening was, there's a majority of that, and actually, it's not still flat.
He was saying like a truck could sit outside the wetland and a crane can.
Yes.
reach in.
Right. And that's,
Sounded like you were gonna drive right into that.
No, they would never get it out.
They would never be able to get, it would sink in the mud. So there was, what ended up happening was there were parts of the wetland, there was wetland, and then there was higher elevations that weren't. And there was a stream that was running through it in the back part of their yard. What the guy did was kind of filled it in different elevations. So I'm assuming it created a mess.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming what was ending up happening, or what that guy's gonna do with the truck, I'm assuming, you're right to ask the question, is get the truck in at the top and then.
Yeah, and then bring a crane in and take the trailers. That's what we had discussed with the removal company.
And the truck will never come out.
You know what company you're using? You sure you're
That
going?
crane service?
We did,
I believe it's Top Notch Tree.
Okay.
Is it Top Notch?
yeah.
Yes, Top Notch Tree.
Okay, thank you.
And when will they start doing the work?
We were waiting to have this hearing before we kind of move forward, so we'll schedule that with them as soon as possible. We have to call them and get on their schedule, but you know, we're looking to get this out this fall, definitely before the winter. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Is there a motion to close?
Make a motion that we close the application request for determination for Pioneer Lane.
Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Close the vote. All right, thank you for coming in. We'll make a decision tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
You're not going to be in tomorrow, but your decision should be ready. I have your emails.
Yeah.
You can email it to you, I get that to you.
Perfect, yeah.
Just the decision,
Yeah.
the determination, not written.
Yeah, yeah, if you need any additional information or anything, just let me
Because I
know.
won't be able to get to you until Monday, so if you wanted to contact the
Yeah,
person, you can tell them whatever I email you, or you can use that as a,
perfect. Yeah, because they were waiting to hear back.
yeah, okay?
Excellent,
I
thank
won't hold you up any longer.
Awesome. Thank you very much,
All
guys.
right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Okay.
So gentlemen, I presume you're here for 390 Southbridge Street?
We are, Mr. Chairman. Sit here or
Sure.
just here?
Sure, that's fine. Sorry, we're friendly, mostly.
For the record, my name is Todd Rodman, and I'm a lawyer with the law firm of Cedar and Chandler in Worcester. And with me tonight is Arian Kodra and Nico Agora, who are the principals of the Mass Preparatory Academy, Norman Hill from Land Planning. And we were at the planning board last night. We wanted to explain a little bit about the project and how inadvertently we ended up here.
Okay.
And discuss what we're doing. These two gentlemen, as I said, they're running something called Mass Preparatory Academy, which is essentially schooling for children on the autism spectrum. And they can't begin that operation until we get site plan approval from the planning board. Under your zoning bylaw, site plan approval is required for that use, even though they're already running a similar autism spectrum counseling session from the same property. So they're going to continue to occupy the same building at 390 Southbridge Street. And the parking lot, everything surrounding the building is existing. The building is existing. There are some minor changes proposed to the interior layout, but no physical improvements on the outside of the building. What caught everybody's attention, and really was a mistake, we shouldn't have done anything until we received the site plan approval, but what caught everybody's attention is that in response to some initial discussions with the planning board and a comment from the town engineer, they hired somebody to clean the parking lot, which meant portions of the parking lot, including the back area, were covered with gravel and sand and some vegetation. That was removed. So there was some, as I said, gravel, sand, vegetation that was scraped off the top of the existing impervious cover. So there was an existing parking lot there that's been there, I don't know how many years, 50 years, that's used by a variety of the businesses there. But as part of the site plan application, we had to demonstrate that there was sufficient parking for this new use on the site. Even though there are going to be a total of 30 children, there'll be only a few cars parked, but technically there's a parking requirement associated with that use. So in the course of scraping the vegetation off, establishing the edge of the existing parking area, doing some patching, there's some black spray that was top coat that was put on, and some striping that was started. When the planning board saw that, they said, you know, essentially stop. I mean, you can't do anything until you have a permit. They referred it over to the Conservation Commission. I think we saw the town engineer's letter to the planning board, which flagged a number of things, including, they said, possible work done in a resource area. Respectfully, from our perspective, we're not defending the fact that we jumped the gun. That was a mistake. We apologize for that. But from our perspective, we're hoping that you view this the way we do, and that is, clearly we need site plan approval, but we think that the work we've done, at least under the Wetlands Protection Act, is at most a minor activity, is de minimis, and we don't think we've done any harm to anything, and we're hoping that you might agree. So we're here to try and answer questions and continue the discussion.
Well, I think, when there's a question whether or not our bylaw or the Wetland Protection Act comes into play, what applicants will do is they'll file a request for determination of applicability. And I don't know, Attorney Robin, if you've ever had any experience with that. Mr. Hill, I'm sure has. And so I think, because I went out to the site there, and I looked around and I said, well, all right. It was clean. I noticed that it was certainly cleaner than perhaps it had been before. But there was nothing that leaped out at me to suggest, an adverse impact on the wetland. And so what I was going to suggest is that, in fact, you do go ahead and file a request for determination of applicability. That way you bring it to us, formally. We then have the opportunity to review it, and then we can make a determination based on that. But I see that Mr. Hill he's got some sort of plan there, so it sounds like he's just raring to go and to make a presentation. Is that fair?
Well, if I could briefly,
So the answer is yes.
to help fill in the blank pictures.
All right.
So the site's on Southbridge Street, across from the wall, the light's here. Dunkin' Donuts is in front, you're probably all familiar with the Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
So Dunkin' Donuts goes uphill towards this motel and this office building. And then once you get to the motel and office building, it's pretty much flat. The rest of the site is pretty flat. Now, in this office building is where they now counsel the children after 3 o'clock. So after they get out of school, they come in and they counsel them and their parents. But they like to have a school there during the daytime hours. And the planning board felt that was a change in use, so there has to be a site plan approved. So we prepared the site plan and submitted it to the planning board. It's under their consideration now. And as the attorney mentioned, as Todd had mentioned, our client has gone ahead. There were some potholes in this back parking lot, and he patched them, and then he sealed it, sprayed on the black, and then he's done some striping. So it looks like a brand new parking lot, but it's been there over 50 years.
Are there wetlands behind the parking lot?
There's a drainage easement that comes through here,
Okay.
all right? And then there's a pipe that outlets right about here, and then there's a ditch. So this ditch would certainly be classified as a wetland, all right? Now it's dry now, but it runs most of the winter and spring, so that would definitely be classified as a wetland.
Is that section I did not go and visit it, or the old Buckley Place or whatever is behind that, or is it the,
Well, 290's right here,
oh, okay,
290.
I got it.
Yeah,
and where's Southbridge Street?
South of Street's down
Right
there.
there, okay,
Yeah.
got it. I got
So
it.
way up and back, they have this hidden little, call it an overflow parking lot that no one has used in 50 years.
Yeah.
But originally, it might have been put in here for the motel, I don't know why, but. So they just cleaned it up, tried to make it look as good as they could. It looks great, but
Right.
but it raised some eyebrows, like, what are you doing?
Who
And
was the person who did the work?
who did the work out there? Who was trying to do the work?
The landlord's, I don't have his phone number, but I can call him up and
What's in there?
The only reason I'm questioning it is because when I did go there and I looked at it, there's a lot of dirt that's pushed up against in that,
Towards 290?
yeah, towards 290, but not even 290. That culvert or that underground, that waterway, that trench that you're talking about, there's a lot of dirt pushed up near
I
there.
think what had happened when they originally
Yeah,
cut this
290.
parking lot out of the hillside.
But unfortunately, we
And
don't
what's-
live
I know, what's left is you've got a hill here and a hill here, probably 4, 5, 6 feet tall.
there.
But I think they cut into that hill years ago.
Right.
It's not like he pushed the dirt up because you
If
can
it was
see
years
it.
ago, wouldn't that have washed away with some of the rainstorms that we've been having recently? It's not washed away, it's still there right now. It's dirt.
Yeah, it's piled up almost one on one, even steeper in places.
Right.
And you can see some of the gravel, but this growth all the way around, you can see that it's not, it's been disturbed recently. but
Right.
Michelle's concern is that if it's not stabilized, there's a possibility of a washout
Yep.
if we get a heavy storm event. So So as I think suggested before, I think the way to just properly bring this before us is to file the request for determination of permittability. The form is available online from DEP. And I think you can present the same plan. Because I mean, that again is the way we do things. You know, if you want to get a determination whether or not an order of conditions is required, then that's the proper way to bring it before the board.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure, we'll do that.
And if, you know, in terms of, I don't know what sort of timetable you have, we're meeting again in 2 weeks. If that is not enough time, we could do this, our first meeting in October. I'm not sure what date that is.
What's that, like the ninth? All right.
Yes,
2 weeks
the
would be enough time. Sure.
yeah, but wait a second here, maybe 11th. There won't be enough time for advertising, that's the problem.
Do you advertise with your butters for a request for determination?
Yes.
We do.
It's the certificate of mailing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that 10 days before the meeting.
Have you had a planning board meeting all set?
We do in 2 weeks.
Okay, the 20th. Okay, the 20th. The application should have been in today.
Yeah, so I think just to make sure that notice is proper, we'll continue this to October 9th.
Yeah, yeah, if they file, sure.
All right. And we'll do that for 7 p.m.
Yes, I don't have anything scheduled yet.
Okay. All right, that way we can, you know, since we know what we're looking at now, we can make it a pretty quick hearing. All right? All right, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scott, I can send you that application if you want.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw
I
on the
know I have
website
it
you have
in
a
here.
link.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
mess.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and then you'll plan on doing it having it on the
We're gonna
9th?
get
So I'll
it
need
filed as quickly as we
everything
can.
here
Yeah, we're
by-
planning on being here on the 9th.
I need everything by the 25th.
You'll have it well before then.
Okay.
Thanks
All right.
again.
All right, thank you.
Good night, thank you for coming in.
Oh, yeah. There's chunks of the asphalt bar. It's with the top, at the asphalt plate and on top of them in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And the American bamboo is poking up with the front of the down, so.
Apparently, I don't think they striped it properly either with the size. I think I heard that.
That's attention first.
Huh?
I think the striping is what your attention first.
Yeah, well, they had come in to talk about it, and the next thing, I don't know if somebody went over there and then it was all striped.
By many barely fits in the parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, I don't think they put a, see, if they had come first, the planning board, they would have said, okay, this is the size you need, how many you need. And I think, yeah, the change of use, I don't know if they going to need a special permit along with the site plan approval, the planning board. It's kind of the same use, but it's added on, I'm not sure.
Nothing we have to be concerned about.
Yeah, well, I think that,
So with respect to Mr. Broderick and 4 Pioneer Lane, is there a motion?
I made to, it's in our jurisdiction, but I say negative determination to notice of intent.
I think we can condition it, though, we could say that, that any tree removal equipment will not be allowed into the parking
Okay,
zone.
all right. So
Yeah, which is what he said anyway.
Okay, yeah,
Like a
yeah, that's fine.
retail line.
and the stump to remain.
Yeah, stop this.
This remain.
Or what we could
She
say is that
hasn't
the
seen it
applicant
though, if
may,
you want to go look at it, you can definitely go
Yeah,
look at it.
she may,
But I mean, like, honestly, at the end of the day, like, if they brought a truck, like, there's no,
no, the stump is not required to be removed. Okay?
I just want to make sure that they take care, they obviously realize it's, it should, not to us, so that looks like they understand that.
when we went over there, I think that this is what impressed me the most about that. So we go over there, it's first thing in the morning, we're walking around in their backyard, and we're like, you know, we're from the conservation committee, and we're talking about it and what's going on, and they were like, Actually, we've come to like our little pond, like the ducks land here, we're okay with it.
Nice.
And if they were like, we're okay with this now, we've like actually embraced it at this point, yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, we've embraced it, we're okay with it.
Embraced it.
And then we were like, well, we were just,
The tree was gonna fall in wood.
Right.
It's gonna do
Yeah,
something.
right, we're just a little worried about, at this point, the mosquitoes that are gonna come. And they were like, but we're gonna actually we're not doing pesticides, we're actually using grow. So they're very conscious of what's going on with around them, they're okay. So,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm not.
Okay, so we've got a motion. Is there a second?
Second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, it's a vote.
Ta-da!
So aside from Greenville Engineering, there's nothing else on the agenda for the next meeting?
No?
Okay. So I guess that means no site visits then.
Let's make sure they're really coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I find out ahead of time. She usually sends me a request to send you a
hopefully it's
facility.
before now or before.
Yeah. No, she will.
You know,
I can find out how they went made out with the Board of Health too.
So when is your last day?
October 3rd.
Big solar.
She's
One
not
more meeting.
signing for you, I'm sorry, signing for you.
Me too.
There's nobody that's gonna be able to replace you though, but you're anyone about that.
Well, I don't know, what's happening. I'm hoping they get somebody with some conservation.
so do we.
Yeah.
Is
Well, I
anyone
said
going to-
So there's a possibility that we're not gonna have somebody?
No, is anyone going
How
to the
does that
selectmen's volunteer night? Because Darlene Coyle will be there, and she might like to hear that perhaps she'll, on a temporary basis, on volunteer, not volunteer, on
Yeah.
a temporary basis, might want to
Yeah, I
just do
said
some of our
I'd
work.
be happy to do the conservation.
I'm going to just
You
fill
do
it.
it? Yeah.
And then in the
She
You know,
said she would do
have
it.
like office hours,
Part-time.
2 days a month,
could we ever like?
2 hours a month for 2 days.
Sorry?
It's not bad.
You know, just get the applications in and then type up
In
the
order to have an
decision.
agent, you have to get a position funded.
Right, but I'm saying could the agent also do what she was gonna do?
She doesn't have a background knowledge, so I mean,
But I did inquire, and Darlene was very diplomatic, she just said, we are interviewing people,
Okay,
so that's all I know.
Yeah.
So I will find out probably after you do.
all right.
You're still
No,
around.
I don't know, you might find out before me.
I hope
No,
all.
just come.
But she's gonna hear from me. She's gonna hear from me anyway, so.
Well, if they don't find someone, I certainly would be happy to help out.
Right. Okay.
Because I'm not going anywhere.
It may be even on a temporary basis.
Yeah, is that like your birthday? He must like us.
No, that's like it. You have
I
dates,
do.
that's your weeks
I
after that, too.
would.
Has a vacation time? Vacation time after the third, right, that's what you said.
I
Has a
have-
vacation time after the third?
Yes, I'll have 2 weeks of vacation.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Just full of questions.
Is there any other business? If there's no other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, to vote.
Okay.
All right, thank you, everyone.